Hi, I'm Bob Trask, and this is our weekly reset. Today, let's talk about friendships. But let's talk about friendships on a way different level than we've thought about friendships before. Because we think about friendships like, I like John and I like Patricia and they like me, and so we're friends. And that's friends on a certain level. But I'm going to talk about real friendships. I'm going to talk about bonded friendships. My friend Patty Benner once said, the only thing better than having a good true friend is having a good true friend with chocolate. Yeah, I can go along with that. Most of us have friends, but the group of friends that we have, a lot of those are just acquaintances. And a lot of them we really like and they like us and we're really close to each other. And that's good. But when I'm talking about friends today, I'm talking about something else. I'm talking about I'm talking about two, I'm talking about one spirit in two bodies. I'm talking about becoming more than just birds of a feather, because that's kind of how we come together with friendships, isn't it? A lot of times. Hey, I like golf and he likes golf, so we're friends. I like to go to the XYZ sports games and he likes to go to the XYZ sports games, so we're friends. Or she likes to make these, I like to make these things, so we're friends. It's more than that. It's way more than that. We're more than friends in that way. We we have to be we have to be bonded as friends. Let me see what I can help you see about what I'm talking about here. For sure, all of our friends, all those people that we call friends, they were selected on the basis of what we needed, of what we wanted. And that's cool. Like if you're my friend because you fit certain criteria in my subconscious mind. I like people that look like this and talk like this and act like this, and were born here and are this race and this religious denomination or no religious denomination, and this political party or no political party, and have this level of education and have this level of intellect, and we can talk about these things on this level. That's all. That's all really cool. That's all really, really cool. And that's friends on one level. But I'm talking about a deeper level today. I'm talking about social interactions on a more intricate and complicated mental level. We don't think about it, but it's truly difficult to interact effectively with individuals and their uniqueness, their differences. Difficult to interact effectively with them because inside of their world, they have a belief system that's not ours. Oh, some might share, but basically it's their belief system and it's built on their memories. It's built on everything they remember. So what I'm doing when I look at you is I'm looking at a field of energy and intelligence. That's what I'm seeing, a field of energy and intelligence that is not like mine. That's We're individuals. You don't have my nose. You don't have my eyes. You don't have my field of energy and intelligence. That's entirely yours. Mine's entirely mine. So for us to interact effectively, when we each have such separatenesses, is actually the most difficult thing we do. I think it's interesting that we have Buckminster Fuller said, every child is a genius until he or she is put in school. Oh, wait a minute. Oops, I said that wrong. He said, until they're 6 years old. Until they're 6 years old. What happens at 6 years old? They go to school. They go to school. And when they go to school, they learn that they're not okay the way they are. They learn that that genius that's been cultivated in them for the first 6 years no longer is applicable. Because if you can't divide 10 by 4, then there's something wrong with you. Let me help you with that. Let's go back into it again. 10, 4 goes into 10. How many times? 2. And how much is left over? I don't get that. Well, so you're not real smart then, are you? But that kid was a genius right up until now. So in all the things that we learn in school, the number one most important thing should have been relationships and friendships. The highest level of relationships, friendships. That's what we should have been learning. Because every single area of our lives, including family, including school or business or anything else that appears, recreation, anything else, dancing, I don't care. Everything will either be successful and fun and rewarding, or it won't be. And the difference of that, it depends on friendships. How can that depend on friendships? Because see, here I am over here encapsulated in my life, and I'm looking out from my life at you and at the other people around me, and I'm seeing you all encapsulated in your lives. And here I am. And if I don't connect, I don't mean agree on something or play golf together. If we don't connect, if the depth of who I am doesn't connect with the depth of who you are, I'm alone. And I can't make it alone. I can't. I I I offer you this example. If suddenly you woke up tomorrow morning and the world was empty, no more people, no more animals, no more trees, no more grass, no more anything. Oh, the grocery stores all still have lots of food for you to eat. And if you ever wanted to be wealthy, you're now the wealthiest person in the world. You own all the wealth of the world. You own all the planes, all the trains, all the buses, all the cars, the hottest sport cars that were ever designed. You own all of it. I don't know about you. I've looked at this in myself, and I think because I'm a pretty tough guy, I think I might be able to last 3 weeks and then I'd be dead. Why? Because we need each other. When I say need each other, I mean we require each other. We are like batteries. We need to get plugged in. And when I'm plugged into you, then our energies and information flow between us. And that's true friendship. And if I don't get that skill, if I don't master that skill, then I'm a failure in everything else I do. Think of some of these multi-billionaires that are now running America. Do they have close personal relationships? Do they have true friendships? And people who get married, they sometimes they're married and they're partners for years, or they're in business and they're partners for years, or they're friends and they're partners for years, and they really do things together and they love each other and they have a good time and everything grows great. And then for some reason it falls apart and they each go their own way. But the friendship didn't need to fall apart. The association might have fallen apart because you can no longer agree on certain things, but the friendship doesn't need to fall apart. Not unless we're stuck on being right. Because if I'm right all the time, I promise you, I'm not loved all the time. Because I can't be loved and right. Because being right means I've built a wall and I've said, behind this wall, I live. And this is who I am. It's not who I am. It's not who I am. I'm way more than that. I'm more than my ideas. I'm more than my beliefs. I'm more than my memories. I'm more than my mind. I'm more than my thoughts. I'm more than that. And who I am doesn't want to be alone. Who I am wants to have someone to connect with. Connect, 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 really connect. But when separation happens, all too often we throw out the relationship. We throw out the friendship with the bathwater, don't we? Can we maintain a friendship when marriage ends? If there are children, what are we teaching our children about friendship? Ali Condi said growing apart doesn't change the fact that for a long, long time, we grew side by side. Our roots will always be tangled, she said. I'm glad for that. So today, with your permission, I'd like to address 3 things that'll move us closer to that friendship mastery we all want and we deserve. So I did a lot of research. So like I always do a lot of research before my Sunday talks. But I did a lot of research because I want to know what other, I could give this talk off the top of my head, but I want to know what other people have to say. People who are really sharp. And when I went into what makes a true, powerful, honest relationship, and I looked, God, here's 10 ways that a relationship works. Here's 15 ways the relationships don't work unless you do these 5. I looked at all of that stuff and I balanced a lot of it against who I am and what I know. And I came up with 3 things that I'm doing and that I'm going to insist that I do now. And I want to just talk to you about those 3 things that'll move us closer to that friendship mastery. Okay? Number 1, in making a friendship work is communication. Now, wait a minute, wait. I know you talk, and I talk too, but I'm talking about communication. I'm not talking about talking. I'm talking about communication. Did you know that through college studies, it's been found that only a small percentage of our communication is words? There's a huge amount that's tone of voice. There's a huge amount that's body language. There's an ethereal consciousness, an electromagnetic intelligent energy that we're broadcasting to the world around us all the time. And if I focus my mind on one thing that I want to communicate to you, and then I say those words have to be accompanied with all of that intelligent energy. Otherwise, you're not going to get it. Or you might get it on a superficial level, but you don't really get it. You can't, and we can't withhold communication. I mean, oh golly, I know some people, and I know you do too. I know some people, and they just kind of stay by themselves, and they barely talk, or they very barely communicate. They've been injured, I guess. I guess they've been injured, and they've been told, go in your room and shut the door, and that's what they've done. But we miscommunicate. And we're misunderstood by other people so often, so often. And it's not really necessary. If we're really communicating, then we're not just blabbing. We're looking at the person that we're talking to and we're making sure that they get that. Because if they don't get it, then we can change it a little bit. We can slide it a little bit. Let me repackage that like this. Does that make sense to you? I ask. Does that make sense to you? And the person says, yeah, I guess. No, they didn't get it. So now I need to repackage that. I need to get it to it's up to me, the communicator, to get it into a form that they can read. They read Arabic. They read a Farsi language, and I'm over here communicating in English, and they don't get it. It's not, I got to change things so that it fits with who they are. Otherwise, We miscommunicate. Otherwise, we're misunderstood. Otherwise, relationships fall apart and friendships wither. So here's an example. This is a phrase that I've used in thousands of seminars, and I really like it. And you might want to write it down because I think it'll be fun for you to run it by your friends. Here it is. The son of the Pharaoh's daughter is the daughter of the Pharaoh's son. Wait a minute. The son of the Pharaoh's daughter is the daughter of the Pharaoh's son? How could that be? The son of the Pharaoh's daughter is the daughter of the Pharaoh's son. The son of the Pharaoh's daughter is the daughter of the Pharaoh's son. And I think that it's really a great signifier of how we miscommunicate, of how people walk away either confused or they think we said something else that we didn't say. This is how communications get screwed up and friendships get screwed up. And what I just said is the daughter of the Pharaoh has a son. That's all I said. The son of the Pharaoh's daughter is the daughter of the Pharaoh's son. All I said is that the daughter of the Pharaoh has a son. But we each speak a different language. And when we can't understand each other, we need to change that communication so we get each other. But it's not enough as me as a broadcaster to just throw words out there. I need to think about who you are and think about your lifespan and maybe use an example that's relative to you, to some of your experience. And I need to tailor. It's music. I need to sing to you in a with a melody that touches your heart. That's the communication. Too much work? Too hard? Okay. Well, then let's just all stay in our little shells and not have any reason or purpose or meaning or result in being here on the planet at all. Because we need to touch each other and be touched. So if in fact what I'm really doing is really working on communicating with you, then the other side is I need to stop listening and hear. I need to stop listening and hear, because hearing is very different than listening. Hearing is not judging while I'm listening to you, because that's what happens. It might be what's happening to you right now as you're listening to me. We're judging. We have this little filter going on. That's relative to all of our memories and all of our experiences and our opinions and our judgments and all of that stuff's going on. And so when I talk, it's all getting kind of filtered through all of that, isn't it? But how about just hearing the truth, which is me, which is your friend, with the truth of what they're saying without filtering it? So that's hearing. So we need to communicate, right? We need to communicate. We not only need to listen, but we need to hear. We not only need to talk, we need to sing. The only way to have a friend, Ralph Waldo Emerson said, the only way to have a friend is to be one. And when I can be that friend I just described to you, boy, we're well on our way. So number one step in friendships, communication. Number two, this is so important. Number two is trust. Trust. Now, on the surface, that might not sound like myself. Well, I got a whole bunch of people that I love, and I trust all of I trust all the people I love. No, you don't. You don't trust the people you love. You may love them, but you don't trust them. Not in the way I'm talking about trust. Because trusting means having confidence that another person knows who you are. I got a lot of family members who have no idea who I am. They haven't taken the time to find out. It's not important to them. And that's okay. I love them, but they're not my friends. And trusting means that another person knows your core values and will stand by you regardless of what comes up. Will stand by you. Doesn't make any difference. Rain or storm doesn't make any difference. They'll stand by you. And for me to know that I'm truly a friend to you, then would I stand by you at the very end? Whatever the very end is, would I stand by you? Would I have your hand in mine? So love and trust aren't the same thing. They just aren't. Those people that I love, they're not bad people. I love them. They're good people. They have their own belief systems and their own opinions, and those beliefs are more important to them than our friendship. So they don't bridge the gap. So if I'm over here and I'm saying I'm willing to be a true friend to you, I'm willing to listen to you, I'm willing to hear you, I'm willing to really be a true friend to you, and I'm willing to trust you, and they're going, hello, who are you? Then I've been firing my rockets in the wrong direction. I need to go somewhere where there's somebody that's willing to respond. So trust. I trust you. If you and I are friends, I got to tell you, you can pick up the phone and call me anytime and I'll be here. I will be here. I will, I I'm not going to be doubting you. I'm not going to be judging you. I'm not going to be trying to get you to have something other than who you are. I'm going to accept you exactly the way you are and exactly the right way you are not. And in that way, I can trust you and you can trust me. We have that bond of trust. Now, what are we doing here? We're building a river. And this river is flowing from me into you and from you into me. And because of that, we're both becoming one. We're flowing into each other by communication and by trust. This is better than love. This is the big deal. So the 3 steps in making relationships work: 1, communication; 2, trust; and the third is compatibility. Can we do this? Can we get ourselves out of the way and really care about people so much that we create the compatibility and that wonderful bond called friendship? If so, we're ventured out on a true adventure. This is going to be a true adventure, a really fascinating adventure that we're going to go through life helping each other, helping others feel that they truly belong. Holy smokes! For me to reach out to somebody else, the person sitting beside you right now, the person you're thinking about, the person across the hall, the person, that uncle, aunt, cousin, friend, mother, father, brother, sister, daughter, that person, whoever they are, they need to belong. And we can feel like we belong, but I've been telling you, when I used the example a few minutes ago of the world came to an end and you're all alone and you're walking down empty streets and there's nobody on the phone to call and there's nobody anywhere, a part of you just died and is continuing to die daily until you're gone. We must have each other. But is it okay for us to just have each other on a superficial level? Hey, yeah, I like you. I think I understand you. Yeah, we're friends. Yeah. Give me a call sometime. We'll have lunch. That's not friendship. I'm talking about bonding, flowing that river into each other. I'm talking about being compatible, getting enough of my stuff, of all of my memories and thoughts and opinions that are all jumbling through me and making up who I am, to be able to move those out of the way enough to make room for you. To move those out of the way enough to make room for you. And I can tell you, when you make that friend, your life doubled. Who you think you are doubled. All of your senses of consciousness doubled. Everything you are doubled. You you are so much bigger than you were before. You can feel it. It's in your life. It's in your body. It's in your health. Listen, little babies, when they're born, If they don't have nurturing and cuddling and warmth and stuff, they get sick and die. And those who might survive become sociopathic. We need each other. We need to belong to each other. Think of this person that's your friend. Think of them as your child, as your little child for a minute. What would you give them? How much of yourself would you get out of the way for them? That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about for true friendship. But I have to be worthy of that, don't I? I have to be worthy of true friendship. I can't be your true friend unless and accept your friendship unless I'm worthy of it. Because this is pretty spectacular. Boy, this is better than this is better than coconut ice cream. This is the top. This is it. This is the best. This kind of friendship. But you have to be worthy to have it. You have to trust yourself and love yourself enough to say, yeah, I'm worthy of that. Woody Allen said, I'd never join a club that would allow a person like me to become a member. Of course, he said that in jest, but we need to hear that. I'd never join a club that would allow a person like me to become a member. I'd like for you to do something, kind of your homework. I'd like for you to go Google Mockingbird by James Taylor and Carly Simon. Beautiful song, great song. It's going to make your day, I can tell you. You're going to want to dance. Google Mockingbird by James Taylor and Carly Simon to see how a truly spectacular duet of friendship really looks. Now, of course, they eventually got a divorce. They were married. They got a divorce because neither one of them was focused enough on the friendship. They both had other issues that they thought were more important. And of course, when that happens, the friendship blows apart, the marriage blows apart. But the roots are still entangled. But if you want to see the beauty of friendship, the beauty of that river flowing, go watch Mockingbird by James Taylor and Carly Simon. Just Google it. Now, who's seeing you and me as a true friend right now? Who knows we're sharing their hearts? Who knows? Do we communicate that? Are we communicating that? Do they trust us? Do they feel that we trust them? Do we set our own needs aside so we can come together in compatibility? Are we really even worthy of having a good bevy of friends? Robert Louis Stevenson said, a friend is a gift you give yourself. So we have friends, but they want to be sure of us, don't they? How about a phone call, a text, or an email? How about a small gift or a card that says, I'm thinking about you? Can we take those so-called associations that we've been calling friendships and turn them into true friendships? Can we do that? You may have to send this video to somebody so they understand what we're talking about. Shel Silverstein, what a wonderful, humorous, beautiful man, said, how many slams in the old screen door? Depends on how loud you shut it. How many slices in a bread? Depends on how thin you cut it. How much good inside a day? Depends on how good you live them. How much love inside a friend? Depends on how much you give them. And I want to finish today with a quote from A. Milne, who wrote Winnie the Pooh. And in one of his books, he has Piglet and Pooh Bear walking along through the forest or wherever, and Piglet sidles up to Pooh from behind and says, Pooh? And Pooh says, yes, Piglet. Piglet says, nothing, taking Pooh's paw. I just wanted to be sure of you. That's friendship. You need to connect. Piglet just needed to hear him say, yes, Piglet, and he just needed to feel the touch of his hand. I'd like for you to reach out somewhere today and begin to build this kind of a bond, deeper than family, deeper than love, connecting, becoming one spirit in two bodies. You can do that. Communication, trust, and compatibility. Thank you for being with me. I see you as a friend. Please go to bobtrask.com, go to the donate button and leave a donate. Thanks, a donation, thanks. I appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you again next week.